Also, at the same time, learn about DevOps, how to deploy these models, how to productionize this model, how to start using this model in real life. Because it's not only about training models and creating models, it's also about understanding the end-to-end ecosystem. Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back again to another video. Hundreds of you have watched the previous video that has surpassed the expectation I had. And thanks a lot whoever has watched the videos. I know 80% or maybe 85% of you are not yet the subscriber of this channel. If you feel the content of this channel is helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Being a working professional, it's really hard to find time and create videos for you. So if you become a subscriber, that will really motivate me to go on and create more videos. Thanks a lot. Today, I will be talking about my journey as a data scientist. Those who haven't watched the previous video, we talked about how to become a data scientist, what is data science, and the comprehensive roadmap of how you can become data scientist. But today, I'll be sharing you my personal experience and the journey of my career. When I was an undergrad student, in the final year of my undergrad, I went to Taiwan for a research internship. And that was my first exposure to machine learning, also computer vision. Now one fine morning, the whole night I was in the lab. Those of you who are students, they probably will be able to correlate. Many times we stay in the lab, you are stuck somewhere or you're still thinking about your research problem. And I went to washroom from the lab, and when I was coming back to my lab, I heard my professor calling me, and I went to his office and he said, Sagar, I was talking about your research with some of my friends, and one of my friend owns a company and they want to see a demo of the product that you have created. And he drove me, it was a 4 hours drive from Chiai to Hsinchu. I gave a demo. At that time I was very young and those things are very new to me. It was a nice experience I got. I came back to India. I always wanted to pursue a career in research, and I wanted to stay in academics. I came from a very lower middle class Bengali family, and in West Bengal, people's mentality are you earn average, but you should have a stable job and you should be with the family. My parents influenced me to go to industry and all, even though I didn't want it to. So I joined Amazon at that time, and what I was doing is video analysis. So the main machine learning team was in Boston. We from India used to do the video analysis and provide feedbacks to the model and all. The machine learning models, how to implement the algorithms, where to implement what algorithm, those are the things I am fascinating about at that time. And I was not getting those opportunities, but many things I learned from that job. How is the life of a software engineer or a machine learning engineer or a working professional? How should you prepare yourself to become a working professional? Because it's a mountain shift when you are going to an industry as a student. You need to change a lot of mentalities. So I struggled with that in my initial period of the career, and then eventually I picked it up. I was looking at the other professionals, how they do their job, what are their expectations, what is the career growth, what should you expect from this industry. All these things helped me to learn from my first job. But because of the reason that I was not very happy with the work I was doing, I then after a year I switched to a startup. Although there was another reason, which is a personal one. I wanted to be with my family. My father was at that time sick, and I had to be with him. Although after a month of coming back to Kolkata, when I joined the startup, he passed away. And that was the lowest point of my career, emotional. I was devastated because I think you all would agree that our parents are someone who are our support system. When I lost my father, for the first time in my life, I felt like my support system is gone. He was someone who used to always push me. He never thought of anything about himself. Anyway, eventually I recovered from that place, and the only thing that kept me going is my work. So when I joined the startup, the first assignment I got was to create a time series model for an inventory prediction. When a particular product will run out of the inventory, when they should start filling the inventory, and all these things for a very large internationally acclaimed toy company. But I never worked on time series models before. So I had to pick it up, and I did. After that, there was a project from one of the largest publication company in the world. They had a lot of historical data, historical documents, which are contracts between authors and the publication company. What is the date of that particular agreement, when that agreement is going to be over, what is the royalty amount that the author will get paid, all these details. And our job was to extract these details from the document. Okay, and this was my first project, direct project on document process. Later on, I started building a product in this company, DocVision, which was an end-to-end document processing tool. So basically, you upload PDFs, images, maybe these PDFs and images are maybe your business documents like invoices, purchase order, some agreements, and DocVision will be able to extract automatically the attributes. You can also train your custom models and all these things. Nowadays, a lot of things have already been done in cloud services like Azure and AWS, but at that time, it was still not very common. After that, I joined the current organization where I started working on a product called Intelligent Document Processing. My first project was extracting a lot of attributes from tender documents, and the last years I did some projects on classifying documents such as passport, Aadhaar card, visa, this kind of documents. And the development team were not able to see the whole data because this data were personal data and all were PI3 data. So we had to design the whole model, the whole pipeline without having access to the data. And these documents were coming from 66 countries. So you can think of more than 80 plus languages we had to cover. And my recent project, as I said in the last video, I'm working on creating a product for SAP ERP, end-to-end AI-based SAP tool to help the developers and accelerate the business process using generative AI. This is my journey being a data scientist. I wanted to share that journey with you guys because I know many of you guys are aspiring data scientists who are going through the rigorous training of becoming data scientist, and you often look for small motivations or stories that you can connect to and you can relate with, and probably that might give you the strength and the energy to go another mile. I hope this story might help you to go on with your journey. Apart from that, I also wanted to talk about the roles and responsibility I have. I also recruit people for our team and various other teams as a data scientist or deep learning engineer, a machine learning engineer. We have a small team of data scientists where we do designs, we try to come up with new solutions for different business problems and try to solve them together. Let's talk about the salary expectation. And I think many of you will be interested to know that. Now, I cannot share my salary. As you guys probably know, there is some legal constraint to share your salary when you are in the corporate world, but I can give you a range that you can easily expect. If you are a working professional with an experience of 3 to 9 years, you can easily expect a salary range between 50k to 140k per month. If you are a fresher, I would say in IT industry, if you are not in product companies, your typical salary is going to be 30 to 60k. If you are in a product-based company, your typical salary will be 70 to 80k per month. Your in-hand salary I'm talking about. Don't get confused by the CTCs and all, as most of the time in product-based companies, you get large share of your CTC from the stocks options. So there are those contingencies. Anyway, last thing that I wanted to share with you guys, although I have shared a comprehensive roadmap of how to become data scientist in the previous video, but still I wanted to touch upon that point of how you should start if you really want to become a data scientist. Now, two things. If you are freshers, start from Python, know how to build an API, how to connect with databases, how to handle CSVs, how to handle PDFs, how to handle text, how to handle image. That should be a starting point. Once you handle different sorts of this data, structured data, unstructured data, then start creating some models using this unstructured and structured data. For an example, handling structured data, maybe you take out one column, maybe you you have a data of sales and you have a column called price, maybe do a price prediction model from that data. If you have PDFs, maybe you start extracting some attributes from the data. If you have text, maybe you do a text summarization using that text. If you have images, maybe do object detection, maybe you do some image classification problems. Start using the data. Understand how can you use data, how can you use machine learning models, which machine learning models works best for which kind of data, and try to start building knowledges from there. For working professional, I can't stress enough, and my request to you is try to find problem statements in the domain you are currently working on. If you are working on banking domain, there will be many things that you do repeatedly every day. Try to come up with a model which will do that instead of doing manually. Also, at the same time, learn about DevOps. How to deploy these models, how to productionize this model, how to start using this model in real life. Because it's not only about training models and creating models, it's also about understanding the end-to-end ecosystem. Fun fact is, machine learning cannot work alone. Machine learning needs to be heavily backed up by software engineering and DevOps. So you need to have understanding of the ecosystem. If you're only someone who understands some machine learning models and once you train the model you are done, you don't understand, your value in the industry will be limited. So try to acquire as much as knowledge possible from starting from data ingestion to your model deployment, how that model is getting consumed, and consuming the model, how you build the end-to-end pipeline that actually solves a real business use case. Now I know that's a lot, but you should start somewhere, and that point will be learn how to handle different data. If you can't become data scientist, you will end up at least being a data analyst, and you will find your path by your own. Hope this video was helpful to you guys, and again a reminder to subscribe this channel, like this video and share with your friends. Have a good day. Thanks a lot.